Why would I sum up Paul in one word? Creative, visionary, thoughtful.
He's really done a lot to bring this city of Los Angeles together.
The various routes and avenues that I've taken have, in some way or another, always been inspired by him and his example.
He's able to make relationships fun because he just always cares about the other person.
My fondest memories of Paul all involve him almost dying. The first time we were off on this raft, we shouldn't be on it. It was on the Tuolumne River, very high river flow. The raft flipped. I came up to him and I said, "Paul, what's going on? What's going on?" He said, "Bob, I'm never going to raft again. That was horrifying. And I'm going to dedicate my life to making Los Angeles a better place using all the tools I learned in Coro."
Just building up community partners was his passion. And I know that Coro helped really, launch that.
He saw the need for something that didn't exist.
Spoken and articulated as an idea 30 years ago between Paul and Al Rodriguez.
So my mom tells the story of when my dad told her about the idea for community partners. He called her into his office and he was so excited. And she always says that she didn't know what he was saying, but it all sounded good.
We're an organization that is generating, $80 million a year in revenue.
It really touches our family to see what Paul has done and how he's done it.
Coro was this word that I didn't really understand, but it would always just be something that came up.
We have to be able to find common ground, and we have to talk to people we don't agree with. And it's only been, I think, in the last decade that I think institutional philanthropy has understood how important it is to work collegially with government for impact. And Coro and community partners understood those things, many years ago.
The third time I almost watched him die, he was convinced he had hypothermia this time. I said, "What have you learned, Paul?" And he said, "Please tell Mary I love her if I don't get through this. And I'm not going to ever mountain bike again, but I'm going to dedicate my life to the principles that Coro taught me, and I'm going to try to make LA a better place."
The risks that he takes pay off, except in poker.
He's a really bad poker player.
He's also a great listener. I think that goes hand in hand with being a great leader, is listening.
He's the greatest speaker I've ever seen. People just listen and they feel his presence. And if he says, "Oh, you should talk to so-and-so," you should talk to so-and-so.
And so I think it's going to be fascinating to see, and important to see, where Paul chooses to spend his time, because wherever it is going to be lucky.
He loves Mary, he loves James, he loves Ethan, and he loves his friends. And he really appears to love all the people he works with.
It's funny, in some families it's like, you've heard of Better Call Saul? In our family, it's Better Call Paul.
Paul, I am so thrilled to see you receive this very important award.
We're all really proud of you for receiving the Coral Crystal Eagle Award.
I want to congratulate you on a career well executed and a life well lived.
What an exceptional way to celebrate a life dedicated to civic leadership and social entrepreneurship.
And it's just amazing to see Coro grow alongside your own professional growth, and translating it to community partners.
I couldn't be more proud of you. I love you endlessly, and I look forward to being with you together soon. Love you.
Thank you, Coro. This honor is very special. It comes at a time in my career when, long planned, I'm stepping down from the leadership of community partners at the end of this year. That's well known to my board and well known to my staff. It may not be well known publicly. But this gives me an opportunity to reflect and an opportunity to think back to where I can place gratitude. And I want to start with the people who trained me in Coro, David Abel and Jim Schoening, both terrific trainers, very different people from one another, and friends for life. Thank you both. I also want to come into the present and thank Ken Chalkins and Natalie Samarjan and Raul Bustillos, all of whom have made Coro what it is today and afforded me this opportunity. So thank you. And I also want to reflect on the 11 classmates that I went through Coro with back in 1979-80 and extend my thanks and appreciation to them. They were great learning partners. More in the present again, Community Partners Board of Directors, Perry Parks, the board chair, my boon ally, the family of Al Rodriguez. Al no longer with us, of course, but the family of Al Rodriguez, and particularly Veronica, who features large in our messages today. And of course, my entire heroic team at Community Partners, particularly my senior leadership team, who for the last year and a half have really worked hard to keep this train on the rails and done a spectacular job at it. And I'm thankful for and appreciative of what Coro is and what Coro offers. Perry used the word clearing, and I see Coro as an important clearing in the life of a community. What's a clearing? A clearing is a place in the forest where you open into, the sky comes down, you can see the trees, you can see the space around you, and you can get perspective. And that's what Coro is all about. It's where ideas are renewed and the will and commitment to go forward with new ideas, new relationships, really begins to take off. That's important. We need those places to clear our heads, to consider new perspectives, to relearn the loveliness of what close-up relationships are really all about and how important they are to accomplishing anything in a community. And the reciprocal nature of relationships is the prime of what it takes to make a community work. My forebears who came to Manhattan in 1662 were Dutch. And Robert Shorto, the writer of Dutch Heritage in America, will tell you that they brought one important export, and it wasn't money and it wasn't capitalism, it was tolerance, because they lived in a multicultural society on Manhattan, and they had to get along. They recognized that. It was a tight little space. And to me, tolerance is what we need today and what Coro trains us to think about. So, Coro, thank you for that. I also want to recognize and appreciate my lovely wife, Mary, my companion, my comfort, my feisty partner in this enterprise we call marriage and life. And I want to extend my love to my sons, Ethan and James, who are fine young men and grown into fine young men. And they're the kind of legacy that any father, any parent would look upon with awe and humility. And finally, I dedicate the Crystal Eagle honor to my Coro colleagues, as well as my community partners, colleagues, and all of the project leaders who have made community partners work, matter on the ground in the community. Our support to you is the gift that we provide. The gift that you provide is a better society for all of us. That means a lot to me. Coro was started by the same kind of individual as we see every day. People at their best, people wanting to make the world a better place, make democracy more livable for all of us. Don Fletcher and Van Dyne Dodge, his partner, remind me of Al and me, starting Community Partners. And I think those kind of people, the social entrepreneurs who care about community and have an audacious presumption that they can bind the will of the community around an idea that's going to make that place better, is a profound contribution to what makes this democracy work. To them I say, simply, Keep up the good work. We need more of you. Thank you, Coro.